In a year, 2023, where we've seen the most outstanding matchups, there's one more that could happen before the end of the year, possibly by mid to late December, where Keith one-time Thurman may take on Stanionis. Let's talk about the possibilities of this particular matchup. The history of quality matches being made in 2023 continues as we look ahead to a possible December 9th showdown between Keith Thurman, former unified welterweight champion, and he takes on Stanionis, who is a current top #1 contender in the welterweight division. This is a fight that is going to catch the public's eye, the supporters of boxing's eye, and maybe captivate us with some unanticipated action. What is meant by that unanticipated action is the fact that we have Thurman, who's been a relatively inactive fighter as of late. His last match was against Mario Barrios, and it came in February of 2022. And in that fight, he scored a unanimous 12-round decision, but still showed some of the weaknesses that we have come to expect in a Keith Thurman fight. But when you talk about Stanionis, whose record is 14-0 with 9 KOs, he's the type of fighter that can bring the truth out of someone like Thurman. Thurman has battled as hard as he could to stave off fighting against the top quality young contenders of today. But he still, as a contending fighter himself and former champion, can be regarded as a heavy-handed puncher. And he has good feet and great mobility. His mobility has been known to be shown at times of peril, in which he's found himself in danger after suffering a body shot that kind of limits him. But Thurman is also a very cerebral fighter. He is a well-studied man with the sport of boxing. He understands the nuances. He understands how to box. He understands how to cover and survive. He also knows how to pick opponents. And one of the reasons why I think that if this fight does come off, Thurman has elected to face Stanionis is that Stanionis needs to be planted to make himself effective. And with the mobility that Thurman has, it makes a difference. And that difference being fleet of foot will be Thurman's strength in this fight. He'll be able to look like the Thurman of old. You know, Mr. One Time, who used to get fighters out of there with heavy blows. He hasn't scored those type of knockouts in years, but he has picked up a craftiness about himself. One of his last stoppages happened roughly around 2013 in December, when he stopped Jesus Soto Caras, and that was a 9th round TKO. So a fighter like Stanionis, who's a consummate pressure fighter, and he is most notorious known for his body punching ability. It's going to be a good contrast of offset type styles. But will Thurman be able to impose himself on Stanionis? We've seen Stanionis in Tough, and he's been the type of fighter that can take punishment. He can take heavy blows, but he could also dish them out. One of the things about Stanionis is his defense is a little bit poor, and he is beginning to suffer a lot of facial damage in his fights. That adds up. Even when the scars heal, that punishment has still been taken. And you can rest assured, a fighter like Keith Thurman understands that aspect of boxing, and he will look to inflict as much punishment as necessary for Stanionis. Will he stand and trade? The only thing that would convince me of Thurman doing something like that would be that he, with his record of 30-1, 22 KOs, decides that Stanionis can't hurt him, and he goes in for the kill, looking for an impressive victory. But that's moderately unlikely, but he will look to outclass Stanionis. And as long as he has the ability to do that, Thurman, who now is a person who seeks after his own well-being, will look to be clean in this fight against Imantas. But there's always a chance. Fighters have been known to do dumb things, and they can get caught in the midst of switching up styles. I believe that Stanionis, being as youthful as he is, will come into this situation and trick Thurman into doing something that Thurman doesn't want to do, and that is be available for the body attack. He does know how to cut off the ring, and he has shown in the past a propensity to have a full gas tank. Thurman's has been questionable, and don't forget the inactivity. So Stanionis will be able to get in there and break him down over a period of time. For Stanionis, it's not a race to the end of what can happen. For him, he's in it for the long haul, and he will put that work in round after round after round. The pressure mounting, cutting the ring off, giving you less and less options as the fight ensues. That's where his strengths are, and I don't expect him to come outside of that. He's not gonna outbox many fighters whatsoever. However, he can tap your tank of your reservoir of what you have, and he can deplete it. I'm going with Stanionis in this instance in a close split decision. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think one time's chances are against Imantas Stanionis. Can he prevail and be right back into the thick of things? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.